This is a Fox News alert. While campuses struggle to get control of their students, at UNC Chapel Hill, they are bringing order back. Students restoring the American flag and singing the national anthem after activists replaced it with a Palestinian flag.
I guess the United Chads of America are here to restore order to the country.
Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America. So lick my blood and suck on my America. What you gonna do when we come for you?
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, and all I can say is the left is losing it more and more each day. These protesters are going crazy. They are complete hypocrites. They were doing everything that they said the January 6ers were doing, and they're doing it right now at their college campuses. They were doing it with the BLM march protest. All of it is just propaganda, but it's all meant to just keep us divided, to say, hey, well, they're doing it, so we could do it, and it's just not right. Wrong is wrong and right is right. But guess what? These protesters were starting to take down the flag at UNC, and the Chads were having nothing to do with it. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but first, check this out.
They grabbed me, they threw a bunch of people on the ground, and then they carried us off to the holding room.
Clash, scuffles between officers and protesters, people taken into custody and bottles thrown. It all happening today at UNC Chapel Hill. Good evening. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Russ Bowen.
And I'm Liz Ortiz. We have brought you the breaking news all day, starting with officers removing the encampment protest. CBS 17's Haley Fixler is live on campus. And Haley, we've seen big crowds all day. How are things right now?
Well, things right now are a lot calmer than they were just a couple of hours ago. I do want to show you what a mess this quad is after the aftermath of that latest protest. You can see the barricades here all shoved to the ground. They were just put up this morning after the encampment. And then I want to show you this flagpole. You can see there's a group surrounding the flagpole. They are trying to put on an American flag after it was torn down by protesters earlier this afternoon. Let's take a look at this video. This is video we took around 1:45 of protesters surrounding this flagpole and replacing the American flag with the Palestinian flag. They then formed a human chain, blocking media out of the area, shoving us and blocking our cameras with signs. Then Interim Chancellor Lee Roberts came out with Chapel Hill police behind him as they went to put back the American flag. And that is when things really escalated. Protesters started throwing water bottles and items at police while police shoved them back. Now, we spoke with a couple of protesters before things escalated, and this is what they told us about why they were out here and their goals.
We will not back down. We will keep going and keep fighting until our demands are met, and our demands are for divestment from the state of Israel, boycott of Israeli products, and full financial transparency. And this strong showing of the support shows how powerful our movement is, and that they can't suppress us, they can't intimidate us, and they cannot stop us.
Now, again, as you can see, things are a lot quieter. Classes, though, have been canceled for the rest of the day. However, I did see police gathering some riot gear, some masks, and some shields, as if they're anticipating things to continue or to get chaotic again. We're bringing you the very latest right here on CBS 17. Live in Chapel Hill, Haley Fixler, CBS 17 News.
Haley, before you go, and we're going to get into a little bit of this after we leave you, but are they telling you anything at all when it comes to how many of these people arrested or who are there are actual students? How many people coming from outside? Have the officials given you any word at all on those numbers?
The last update we got from administrators was earlier this morning before this latest round of protests, and we did hear about 30 people were arrested, and it was my understanding that none of them are students right here at UNC Chapel Hill. But again, this was hours ago. This was this morning. We have not yet gotten an update from UNC administrators about this latest protest.
All right, yeah, it would be nice if they would clarify that, because that's the
Right.
question a lot of people are asking tonight. How many of these people are outside agitators, and how many of these people are students?
Hope to get those answers soon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Haley, thanks for your hard work on this. Well, county officials do say they've detained folks, and they did go before the magistrate before noon. The magistrate decided to not book them into jail.
Organizers refused to leave the detention center until everyone was released from custody. We talked with an organizer who didn't want to be identified. She says she is a student at UNC Chapel Hill and says she wasn't afraid of potentially being arrested.
We are here and we are not scared of you. And we will continue to be out here until you comply with our demands, period.
The organizers say they're prepared to keep protesting until the university follows its demands.
Man, these left-wing lunatics are nuts, dude. The fact that they made a barricade to take down the American flag just to put up a Palestinian flag, it makes no sense. None of these people will ever go to this country. They've all lived in America, and they're all a bunch of overprivileged crybabies. The fact that the police even had to get involved with this is ridiculous and beyond pathetic to me for these people. These guys are lunatics. I'm fine if you want to just protest, but this is beyond way too far. Our flag means everything. Their flag is their flag. Let them wave their flag. We should be waving the American flag. And the Chads are here to prove it. Check this out.
This is a Fox News alert. While campuses struggle to get control of their students, at UNC Chapel Hill, they are bringing order back. Students restoring the American flag and singing the national anthem after activists replaced it with a Palestinian flag. Here with reaction, Fox and Friends weekend co-hosts Pete Hegseth and Will Kane. Hey, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Pete, since you fought for our country, I will start with you, even though I know you're very patriotic too, Will. But I wanted to start with you, Pete, because it's, on one hand, so exciting that finally, these Americans are praising America and doing the right thing. But how sad is that? That campus to campus to campus all over our country, they're replacing the flag with Palestinian flags. They are yelling, they hate America, wipe Israel off the map. But at this campus, they got it right.
Yeah, I mean, we should take heart and remember that the majority of young people, even still today, respect and love the country. I mean, this is a reflection of probably the majority of the campus of UNC. But our conversation is being driven by a very noisy, very powerful, very influential minority of people who simply hate the country. I mean, taking down the American flag and putting up the Palestinian flag is effectively saying, I reject the place where I'm being educated completely and all that it stands for. We should UNC should find those kids, by the way, and give them a study abroad semester in Gaza. You know what? You love Palestine so much. Go over there and hang with them for 6 months. See how you feel about the American flag when you come back. That's what every vet's experience. You see the other side, you understand how special what we have is. By the way, the chancellor came out and put the flag up with him, but they took it down later. They took it down because they didn't want it to be a controversy. So the flag went up for a second, but didn't stay up. And that's sad also.
Well,
alternatively, I would say to you, Pete, they should also find those UNC frat bros and give them full scholarships to the University of North Carolina. The full story, Ainsley, is pretty fascinating in that they had already replaced the American flag with the Palestinian flag. These North Carolina frat brothers saw it, were upset by that, but the school administration at that time came out and re-raised the American flag, and everybody broke into the national anthem. But once the school administrators and school security left, then the protesters began to take down the American flag again, and that's when the guys stepped in and protected the flag. They said one of the frat brothers' names is Guillermo Estrada, Ainsley. He said that he and his brothers protected it for an hour. By the way, his parents, immigrants in the military. They protected the flag for an hour. They were pelted with bottles and rocks. But those are the type of Americans that I agree with Pete. Their love of country and their patriotism, I don't think are as rare as we want to believe. A lot of people love America, but what they should be celebrated for and what be more rare is their bravery, their willingness to stand up and exhibit that patriotism and protect America. That's a rarity. In my mind, that's the kind of student you want at North Carolina. You might as well give them a full ride and go Tar Heels.
You guys heard that, right? There is literally nothing in this clip that I do not agree with, right? If you are so invested into this war between Israel and Palestine, by all means, go. I've offered to pay for people's tickets to go, and they won't take me up on it, but they're very, very, very invested, constantly posting things online, constantly talking about it, acting like it's everything when we have so much going wrong in this country. I'm telling you, the Chads are here to save the day, and we need them. We need all of them that we can, and there's a lot more people like this than they want to admit. If you're willing to take down the American flag and put up the Palestinian flag, I'm sorry, you're pathetic. You live in America. Be happy. Our country is the greatest, right? And these people got what they deserved. Check this out.
We start with those protests over at UNC Chopper 11 over the Chapel Hill campus at what used to be the site of an encampment. The quad now cleared of the tents and the protesters.
Yeah, it was a much different scene around 6 o'clock this morning there. That's when police started clearing demonstrators from the area. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators who refused to leave the quad were arrested. Our cameras capturing that. These protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and for the school to divest from any company connected to Israel. We have Eyewitness Live team coverage right now. Our Cindy Bay is on campus there. But let's start with Tamara Scott. She's joining us live. She was there as this encampment was being cleared.
There's been a lot of activity here for several hours on UNC's campus that started very early, but I want to catch you up to where we are right now very quickly. Those protesters gathered once again on the Wilson Library steps for a silent protest, but now are making their way in a march across the quad here, going towards the South Building once again, which is nearby where they had all started this morning. So again, they just finished a silent protest, a silent vigil that they had for their cause that they've been fighting for all morning. Now they're making their way and marching once again up the quad, going toward the South Building here. And so, although we have seen a very heavy police presence this morning, I can tell you I don't see as much of a presence right now. There are still officers here on campus. They are in the pathway of where they're moving right now, just not as heavy as before. But I do want to take you through this morning as we watch and see what they're going now. It happened around 5:30 this morning that UNC admins came down to the encampment that was here earlier this morning and overnight, gave notice to students that they had to be gone by 6 a.m. Now, some students did leave, many others stayed and began chanting that they would not be leaving. It was at that time that multiple UNC system police agencies moved in on the group, immediately tearing up and down the homes protesters created over the last week. They began to link arms in an attempt to resist the moving, and police began ripping people away from others by force. Now, multiple people were immediately arrested, transferred to another location. That didn't stop protesters, however. They continued their pursuit, even standing in front of police vehicles to prevent them from moving. Now, during the chaos, chairs, mattresses, and other items were thrown at officers. More people arrested. Later, we did speak with one person who was here and is still here this morning about why there was this response this morning. So if you're here, you can see that this protest is continuing. Now, take a look at the number of people who are here. This is doubled from what we saw this morning. Of course, more people are awake at this time. This is the last day of classes. There may be more people here. But you can see this troves of people are just marching by, started at the Wilson Library steps, making their way down to the South Building. Now, once again, I don't see a very heavy police presence at this time. That could change as we move forward. We know multiple agencies have been here throughout the morning. They still may be nearby if this got anything more than peaceful. That is what we're looking at right now.
You guys seen that, right? They're trying to spin the narrative like these are peaceful protests. These protests are anything but peaceful. The proof is in the pudding. Look at what is going on. They're literally throwing water bottles, throwing objects at the police that are just trying to get them just to do this stuff respectfully. Dude, this is crazy. I can't stand how they try to spin the narrative, because if this were a bunch of white people at January 6th, they'd be white nationalists and white supremacists and things like that. It seems to me like white privilege isn't real, but leftist privilege is real, because you get it where I went there? Israel. Leftist privilege is real, because these people they might get locked up, but they don't get in any trouble for anything. They just get let go. But listen, on behalf of the chats, people started a GoFundMe for him, and I'm all here for it. Let's check this out.
A viral online fundraiser has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for UNC fraternity members after they protected the American flag during that campus protest yesterday.
Yeah, it's raised nearly $300,000 in just a few short hours. CBS 17's Harrison Grubb talks with students who stepped in about how this whole thing played out.
These moments on UNC's campus are resonating with thousands across the country.
When we went in, we said, we will not let the headline of this day be an American flag falls at UNC.
Ongoing protests against the war in Gaza intensified on campus Tuesday. At one point, pro-Palestinian protesters replaced the American flag flying over the quad with a Palestinian one. After university administrators brought a new flag, they tried bringing that one down as well.
My friends and I kind of looked at each other and then said, we should go over there.
Jason Calderon joined several of his fellow students in propping up the flag to prevent it from touching the ground. All while he says he and others were pelted with objects from protesters.
So many Americans in history have fought for the ideals of justice and freedom that flag represents. And who are we if we don't take some water balloons and take some yelling and some chaos to, reap the benefits of what they've sown for American society?
Images of the students' actions flooded social media, leading to the creation of a GoFundMe to benefit fraternities whose members protected the flag. It raised more than $250,000 within 12 hours.
So many people are seeing that UNC is a beacon of light.
On campus, steps are being taken to make sure it doesn't happen again.
It was really just inspirational for us to see everybody coming together and the chancellor coming in and saying, as long as I'm chancellor, that flag will stay up.
I reached out to the fraternities named in the fundraiser, but have not heard back yet. In Chapel Hill, Harrison Grubb, CBS 17 News.
Bro, do you guys see how much money that is that they raised for them? What? That is $250,000. This is crazy, dude. This is so cool. I love it. I love that people that are standing up for America and then there's people that are backing them. Why would you want to wave a Palestinian flag in place of an American flag is completely beyond me. And if that's the flag you want to wave, guess what? You need to go move there. But on that note, I'm going to end it. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one and stayed for the whole thing. And if you haven't yet, please make sure to watch one of the other videos. Also, maybe hit the subscribe and the like and comment down below. Tell me what your favorite part of it was. Anyway, have a good one. Peace.